we have now understood the process involved in coupon swap, right? We have seen the example of how A and B, company A and B, exchanging their interest rate loans and using the swap to pay their interest rates to respective lenders. Now today we will see the objectives of using such swaps, or we can say the motivation behind using such swaps. You have already understood that these derivative instruments are used mainly for three purposes. One is hedging, second one for speculation, and third one for arbitration. Now in this case there is no question of speculation or arbitration, but there are some other uses of this interest rate swaps. As I have told earlier, this is one of the tool of risk management of companies or asset liability management tools used by financial institutions like banks. Basically, there are three purposes of using these interest rate swaps. One is hedging, second one is to avoid asset liability mismatch, and third one to reduce the interest cost. Now I will be explaining to you about these points in detail. The first one is about hedging. Now the word hedging means to arrest. Now here, why a company is using the swaps, I have already explained you in the example. When a person has taken a loan and he is expecting in future something may happen, then he may face some risk. Now earlier I have explained you an example when company A took a fixed rate loan and he is expecting a decline in market interest rates in the future, then he may face a loss because he may have to pay fixed interest rate despite of any changes in market interest rates. If such decline he anticipates, he can hedge that risk by switching over to floating rate liability. For that only we are using this interest rate swaps. Now in the reverse case also can happen. Now earlier I told you, when there was a company called company B who had taken a floating rate loan and he is anticipating that the interest rate may move up, and then he wants to hedge or eliminate this risk. Instead of paying more interest, he wants to pay a fixed interest, so he may switch over to fixed rate liability through a coupon swap. So you can say business firms resort to such interest rate swaps to hedge the risk arising from variations in interest rates. So that is the purpose of hedging, that is to arrest their profit or loss arising from variations in interest rates. Now we come to second purpose, that is avoiding asset liability mismatch. Now I will explain this point with an example of a bank. Say a bank has already an asset, okay, which is earning a floating rate interest. Now in it has bank always lend and it accepts deposits. It lend loans and it accepts deposits. So whatever it lend as loan, it is the assets, and whatever it accept deposit, it is the liabilities. So the bank must have taken the bank must have given a loan to a party at a floating rate of interest. It must have given a loan on specific market interest rate, which is Mumbai interbank offer rate plus 3%. That means the bank will charge interest rates plus 3%. So at the time of repayment of interest by the borrower to the bank A, the borrower will have to pay interest rate at the rate of the interest rate available in the market acceptable as MIBOR plus 3%. If MIBOR is 10%, then the borrower have to pay 10 plus 3, 13%. If MIBOR is 12%, then the borrower has to pay 12 plus 3, 15%. So it goes on like that. Now imagine on the other side, the same bank, that is bank A, on its liability side, it has taken loan from somewhere else. Okay, let us imagine it has taken a loan from a non-banking financial institution at a fixed rate of 15%. 14%. Now here, if you see, this bank has given loan to the borrower at a floating interest rate of MIBOR plus 3%, and the bank has borrowed loan from an NBFC on a fixed rate at the rate of 14% per annum. Now if you understand, this bank, that is bank A, is having an asset liability mismatch, because whatever it earned income from getting the interest from the borrower, it has to pay interest at the rate of 14% to his lender. So bank earns interest from here, and it has to pay the interest on its loan here. Now there is a mismatch here, and this mismatch will result in variation in its profits. Profit to the bank is nothing but the difference between interest earned on its loan given to outsiders minus the interest paid to its borrowers. So we call this as spread. So the spread or the profit, that is the main source of earning for a banking institution. So you can say, in this case, bank A, the profit is MIBOR the spread or the profit to bank A is MIBOR plus 3% MIBOR plus 3% minus 14%. So in total you can say the spread for bank A is MIBOR minus 11%. How you got this 11%? I once again explain. The interest received is MIBOR plus 3%. The interest paid is 14%. So net interest received or profit to the bank is MIBOR plus 3% minus 14%. So it will be MIBOR minus 11%. Now here you have to understand, if MIBOR declines, if specific market rate interest rate decline at the time of receiving the interest from that borrower, the profit also will decline. If MIBOR is 12%, then the profit to the bank is 12 minus 11, 1. If MIBOR is 13%, no problem, it will be 13 minus 11, 2%. But if MIBOR is 10%, it will be 10 minus 11 minus 1%. So the point is, when MIBOR declines, the profit to the bank also will decline, because interest earned on the asset declines. On the contrary, if MIBOR rises, then no problem, the profit will increase, because interest earned on the asset, it increases. So what is happening is, the profit to bank A will depend upon this MIBOR now. So bank will always now pray that the MIBOR doesn't decreases. We cannot expect always the MIBOR to increase. MIBOR also can decrease. The market interest rates can also decrease, because there is always fluctuations in the market, in the share market. So we call this as asset liability mismatch of bank A. Now here I'll give you another example. Say bank B. Bank B. Now here bank B is same like bank A. Now here this bank B, say it has given a loan to a party. Okay, it has an earning asset. It has given loan to a party on a fixed interest rate, say 17%. So on the other side also, bank B, it has a liability, or it has taken a loan, say again from a non-banking financial institution, on a floating interest rate, say MIBOR itself. Now here, just like bank A, I can say that bank B also is facing asset liability mismatch. You know how? Now you see, bank B has given loan on fixed interest rate of 17%, and it has taken loan from NBFC on the arrangement of paying interest on market interest rate, that is MIBOR here. So the profit earned, that is the spread earned by bank B, will be 17% minus MIBOR. If MIBOR rises, then the profit to the bank B will decrease. For example, if MIBOR is 10%, then profit from this arrangement made by bank B will be 17 minus 10 is equal to 7%. Just imagine if MIBOR is 11%, then the profit of bank B will become 17% minus 11% is equal to 6%. So as the MIBOR rises, this profit earned by bank B will decrease, and the bank has to pay more and more interest, and it is only earning interest at the rate of 17% from that borrower, which is fixed interest rate. Now here also you can understand bank B is facing asset liability mismatch. What we can do is, now here bank A and bank B comes to know that they have faced such a asset liability mismatch. They come to know about each other, and they can come to make an interest rate swap agreement to overcome their respective mismatch. That means both bank A has a fixed rate liability and bank B has a floating rate liability. Bank A will switch over its fixed rate liability to bank B in exchange for the bank B's floating rate liability. So now onwards, bank A will pay the floating rate liability of bank B, and bank B will pay off the fixed rate liability of bank A. Now what will happen if such arrangement comes? Now you can observe. Now if the swap is made, you can say that both the banks are making a fixed or a definite profit or spread irrespective of the level of MIBOR, because whatever variations happen in MIBOR will not affect the profit of the bank. Now see, bank A receives interest at the rate of MIBOR plus 3%, and if it pays the floating rate liability of bank A, it is MIBOR. So profit earned by bank A is equal to MIBOR plus 3% minus MIBOR. So in short, it is the profit earned by bank A is 3%. Whether MIBOR increases or decreases, bank A is making a steady profit of 3% till this loan maturity gets over. Now on the same side, bank B, who is paying the fixed rate liability of bank A, it also makes a similar profit. How? Because bank B receives 17% from its borrower, and it is paying interest at the rate of 14% of bank A. Now here you can see the profit made by bank B is equal to 17% minus 14% is equal to 3%. Here also, from using this interest rate swap, bank B is also able to make a steady profit or definite profit 3% till the maturity of this loan. So you can say one of the important motivation or objective of using this interest rate swaps by banks is it helps the banks to reduce the asset liability mismatch by exchanging the interest rate obligations.